Thank you very much, Mr. Parekh, for agreeing to do this fireside chat. You have been a role model for Indian corporate world, financial services world, and we at HDFC Life are privileged that from day one of our existence, from the year 2000 until recently, you've been our chairman and guided us with a lot of encouragement. I personally have from afar and then directly felt that I've been mentored by you, first as the CFO when I joined in 2008, then the executive director, and now as the CEO for the past 7 years. What I would like all our 38,000 plus employees to learn from this interaction is how HDFC as a group has grown responsibly, and what are the mantras of the HDFC way of life. Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, Vibha, for your kind words of introduction. Let me first begin, before you start shooting questions, at the origin of HDFC Life. See, 1991 was a very critical year for India. That is the year 3 significant liberalization measures were introduced by the government. The first one was abolishing the license Raj. The second one was easing restrictions on imports. And the third one was to encourage foreign exchange investment into India. And this they did by setting up the FIPB, which is the Foreign Investment Promotion Board. This is the genesis of opening up the insurance sector to private players and also allowing foreign direct investment in the insurance sector. So this was 1991. 1993, as a follow-up, the government set up the R.N. Malhotra Committee to review the insurance sector, the structure of the insurance sector, and recommend and suggest ways to liberalize the sector. I was a member of Mr. R.N. Malhotra Committee. The other members included the former chairman of Life Insurance Corporation, the former chairman of General Insurance Corporation, the chairman of the Unit Trust of India, the president of the Actuarial Society of India, and the member secretary and the member was the insurance, special secretary insurance, part of the finance ministry. So this is in 1 year, a little over 1 year, we gave our report, but it was in 1999, after many years after submitting the report, but based on the R.N. Malhotra Committee report recommendation, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Act was passed in December 1999. This act allowed private players to get into the insurance sector, allowed joint ventures with foreign parties, but it was only foreigners could only invest up to 26% in insurance sector. So HDFC Life's early days, we had a joint venture with Standard Life Assurance Company, UK, and our initial capital in year 2000 was 168 crores. 2000 was a significant year. In August 14th, one day before our Independence Day, Standard Life, HDFC Standard Life was incorporated. October 12th, if I recollect 2000, the certificate of commencement was received, commencement of business, and October 23, we got the registration from the IRDA. We were the first company to get the registration. And December 2000, we issued our first policy. It was endowment assurance policy and money back policy, which were all approved. Both the policies were approved by IRDA. It was in 2001 when we gave our maiden bonus to participating policy holders. And we were the first company to give a bonus on its first year of operations. So it was a good achievement. Year one, we had 47 employees and 3 branches in Mumbai, Chennai and Delhi. The other landmarks were, we became profitable in 2012. So 2000 to 2012, no profits. So to get into this business, people don't realize you need deep pockets and patience to be in this business. Because of the high upfront costs due to the high upfront commissions, while revenue from premiums come over a period of time. So it took more than a decade till our back book generated sufficient profits to offset the new business strain of writing insurance policies. We declared a maiden dividend in 2013, and which was a token 5% if I recollect, and our IPO was on 2017. We had a good relationship with Standard Life, and they had made a total investment over a period of time of 2,400 crores. And between 17 and 23, they sold their stake. It was known as Aberdeen at that time. They made 34,000 crores. So it was 14 times their gain was 14 times their investment. And over the years, their IIR was 35% on their investment. And our JV partner did tell us at that stage that this is the most lucrative business they've ever, lucrative investment they've ever made in their 175 years relationship, being in business. We had good working relationship with Lord Jerry Grimstone, Mr. Bell, who signed our first agreement, Ian Lumsden, Sandy Skinner, Sandy Crombie, and other senior executives.
Thank you, sir, for this trip down memory lane, because a lot of our newer employees would not have known any of this. The other bit of pride that I want to mention is that HDFC Life's market cap crossed the market cap of Standard Life long time ago. So hopefully, apart from it being a fantastic 14x investment and fantastic IRR, also at that time they used to feel very large, but our company crossed their market cap back in time. Mr. Parekh, you've been the architect behind some of India's most trusted financial institutions, whether it is the mortgage company HDFC Limited or HDFC Bank, both the insurance companies HDFC Life and HDFC Ergo, and the AMC. You would have been filled with extraordinary and defining moments. Now, as we mark 25 years of HDFC Life, how does it feel, not just as a promoter, but also overall over the years as someone who has shaped its very foundation? Which achievement gives you the most amount of pride?
To answer your question, we have to pass down the HDFC way of doing business, is what we did, which is very gratifying. To adhere to the same values of transparency, honesty, integrity, and accountability, shunning shortcuts, zero tolerance for impropriety. We've had 3 top-notch CEOs, and one of us is still, the last one is still batting, not out. And the first CEO was our managing director, Deepak Parekh, who was able to very efficiently inculcate the culture, the DNA of HDFC Limited into the HDFC Life company. So in 25 years, we have 3 CEOs. In 25 years, we've had 2 chairmen. We must have done something right, that we have become a successful insurance player.
So I want to add that our scorecard, and when our NRC was there and largely of HDFC in those days, we have like a 13-14 point scorecard 1 to 5, and it is perhaps one of the few companies in the insurance space that has this kind of holistic scorecard, not only top line, but we have top line, bottom line, quality of business, employee satisfaction scores, distribution, all of that, solvency. So there's no way we could game the system, because growing top line is not that difficult, or only growing bottom line, but doing everything and very transparently, I think that's been our way of doing business. Let me turn the dial back a little. As the Indian economy began to open up, life insurance was a completely untapped space. What prompted you to take the leap into this sector with HDFC Life? Was there a moment in those early years when you thought, yes, this will work, when it shifted from being just an idea to a firm conviction?
See, the first reason was the Malhotra committee, because it showed how profitable life insurance company was and the need for many more life insurance players. It's a difficult business, it's a long-term business, but I knew we had to get into it. And at that time, we were also building a strategy of being a financial conglomerate, offering all kinds of financial products to the Indian citizens. Our brand was strong, we had a strong brand, so it would be easy for HDFC Life to start. Again, we had no prior experience how to run insurance companies. So it was always learning by doing. We also built HDFC learning by doing. We made mistakes, but we corrected them. We did not have any technical expertise on underwriting life policies. There was a massive shortage of actuaries in India. We needed a trained distribution force, and we had to build that from scratch. But as fortunately for you, as HDFC Limited was doing well, it was able to pump in more money whenever you wanted extra capital. And we had to do that till you became profitable, which was more than a decade after it was set up.
So to add to that, when I joined the company, it was loss making. This was in 2008. And my father asked me 2-3 times, are you sure you want to join a loss making company? Because as you know, you were on the board of WNS and it was doing very well. And I tried to convince him about Indian accounting, how amortization will happen down the line, how profits will get generated. I don't think he was convinced, but then here we are. So back in 2000, the life insurance sector had just opened up to private players after decades of LIC's monopoly. What were the biggest hurdles you and the team faced, whether in mindset, regulations, even capital or otherwise? How did you go about convincing families to trust a new private life insurer?
See, we always knew selling life insurance would not be easy. But HDFC's strong brand name helped us, and we had the courage, we took the courage to set up an insurance company. The biggest hurdle, I think, was a lot of mis-selling that was prevalent in the industry, and for quite a long time we realized that importance of selling right is what is needed, and market share was not important. It was not just to chase market share, was not our name of the game. At the end of the day, only product patent one has is the quality of customer service. You know, in financial sector, there are no product patents. You start a product today, you invent a product, it will be copied tomorrow by someone else. So the only patent we have is customer centricity, how to treat with customer.
Mr. Parekh, there was no playbook then, no private life insurer to benchmark against. So HDFC Life in that sense was a startup. What were the values and principles you laid down as a foundation for the company, and how did you hold on to them even as the company scaled and faced intense competition?
So the company had to go through its own challenges, its own learning curve. But principles and values had to be non-negotiable. It was credit to the leadership for emphasis on culture and the willingness to course right what wasn't going right. The prize or the recognition should go to the CEO and the leadership team that despite being a difficult business, despite having intense competition, how to survive and how to be patient and not get disillusioned that it takes so long to make money, and that we are doing the right thing and the right way by not going after market share and losing money, more money. And so, you know, it was a tough learning. The early years were difficult. Sometimes we even had doubts that when will we see profits. We are just pumping in more capital, pumping in more capital. And we always gave capital when you wanted it.
On the tap.
On the tap it was. But because we had the money, we were doing well, we could do that. I know many other companies and many other businesses were not able to put in capital at the right time because people didn't realize, entrepreneurs didn't realize that it's a very long-term game. Insurance to be strong needs 100 years. You need 100 years, then you will be like LIC. How strong it is and how it can withstand any competition, withstand any situations or anything. So, you know, it needed patience and we had the patience.
So, and we felt that patience not only in terms of capital, but as management team, I can share that we always felt that HDFC's philosophy was light touch in terms of micromanagement of its subsidiaries. We felt it, I'm sure other subsidiary CEOs and management team also feel that, wherein it was like riding a bike with with training wheels. If we needed you, you were there, but you did not interfere into day-to-day micromanagement, and that's the only way I think to strengthen a management team. We will make mistakes, and we did, except don't make the same mistakes again and again. So we made new mistakes and learnt and
No,
grew.
I am very clear that as a non-executive chairman, you must let the management work. If things don't go right, or if they want help, you step in. Otherwise, stay away, let them get on with the work. And we had, as I said, top-notch CEOs who were doing the right thing all the time.
So when you look back at HDFC Life's 25-year journey, what are the one or two defining strategic decisions that you believe changed its trajectory?
See, I repeat again that we didn't chase market share, but aim to grow profitably and sustainability over the long run. The listing was another milestone, transparently reflecting the true value of the company. The company has created value for its stakeholders and is continuing to create and will continue to create over the next 25 years.
So I would like to add here that if you recall, we also did the first M&A in the Indian life insurance space, and both of us worked on it during COVID. So we were in separate places, no physical meeting. I was not going to office. Some of the discussions happened in a hotel. There was no IRDA chairman in the saddle, and yet we got approvals. So not only was it the first M&A, but under your leadership, it went through seamlessly. And today, that has also got subsumed in the main HDFC Life organization and doing very well. So a lot of first times that we got right. You've always believed culture is a differentiator and have often quoted culture eats strategy for breakfast. In your view, what is the cultural DNA of HDFC Life and how do we ensure that we protect it? And this is while also meeting demands of a highly competitive insurance market.
To be successful, you must have customer centricity. If you do not have satisfied customers, you can never make money, you can never be successful. In order to get there, you have to treat people kindly and with respect. You have to stay humble. One doesn't need star employees. One needs those who can work well in teams, together in teams. The way leadership treat their employees is the same way the employees will treat your customers. Always maintain an open door policy irrespective of hierarchy. Hierarchy should be banned. When doing deals, ensure that you always leave some money on the table so that the investors will make money. So it's really, to be successful, the leadership has to manage the team kindly, respectfully, carry them along, teach them along, and not keep shouting and firing at them, but spend time with them, go to their offices, go to their desks and talk to them. Always have an open door. The CEO must be able to meet any employee directly, anytime. So these are the things that we followed, and fortunately Satulekar and you people followed also.
So absolutely, and I think you are one of the most networked people, because anyone who wants to meet you, whether it is an ex-employee or an ex-customer, if there's a vendor who's aggrieved, anybody. And I remember after I took over as CEO and I used to come and meet you periodically, you had a chit of paper, only grievances, to say, Vibha, please have your team deal with this. The fact that you gave it to me meant that this is important, pay attention to these details. So that was one key takeaway I had in a subtle manner. The other was your simplicity. So there are many times I've given you a lift, and at that time as a CFO, I had a Maruti Zen, and we usually had dinner after the board meetings, and many times if your car was late in arriving or something, you've come along in the Zen with no problem, and rest of my team as well along. These are all very subtle but walk the talk indicators that not just me but the management team also, it percolates down the organization. So HDFC has always had a people first reputation. Many of us here are proof of that, including myself. When you handpicked me from outside the group, when HDFC Life was preparing for its IPO in 2008. What's your leadership philosophy when it comes to identifying and retaining talent? What do you look for in people? Instinct, values, or capability? I also recall that not only did I not have insurance knowledge, neither did I have BFSI knowledge, and yet I was hired.
No, all that what you mentioned is important, but mainly it is about finding like-minded individuals to work with. Are the inherent value systems common? Assess if the leadership can carry people with them. Assess whether they can empower teams. Personally, a lot of gut feel is needed, instinct, and which has always helped me in terms of identifying leaders. I don't spend hours and hours interviewing people. I don't give them psychology tests and other tests and all that which people give. And I don't take more than 20 minutes for an interview, because you get a feeling after you met so many people whether it will work or not work. In fact, you will be surprised that Deepak Parekh came for an interview before joining HDFC. He was working with Citibank in Calcutta and he didn't want to live in Calcutta.
Yeah.
So he came, someone sent him to me and I met him. But I had a meeting at State Bank of India to meet the chairman for some funding.
Right.
So he came and I had to run. So I said, come. And when we went down, there was no car. So we took a yellow cab, Kali Pili taxi, and I talked to him for 10 minutes in the car and then we gave him the offer letter. You know, see how well it worked. He stayed for so many years. He was instrumental in building HDFC, then HDFC Life. And so it is somehow you feel instinct once you meet many. I know I have been in various government committees.
Yeah.
They take 1 hour per person for interview. I can't ask so many questions. I sit there in the interviewing panel and they keep questions. Yeah. You can make out in the first 15 minutes, 10 minutes whether it's going to work or not going to work. That gut feel is what is important.
And I want to add that you've also not shied away from giving, once the person is in the company, giving a completely different role. I remember I joined as a CFO and just few days after, the then CDO resigned, and when I met you, you said, why don't you do that also? You know, so I wasn't sure and that didn't happen, but the point is that you were willing to take bets based on like what you just explained. I think we do a lot of that at HDFC Life, wherein very few roles I think are specialized roles, like an actuary for example, but everything else I think it's not a rocket science and people can come up, and we try and give our people an opportunity.
No, all of you have run the company exceptionally well and our reputation is top class in HDFC Life. And it is because of the leadership qualities you have provided and the previous leadership team has provided.
Yeah. Mr. Parekh, your journey has been a rich one with experiences of challenge, conviction and quiet triumph. Are there any anecdotes from those early years, perhaps a decision, a conversation that left a lasting impression on you, something that even today continues to guide your thinking or leadership philosophy? Are there moments or days that you remember fondly?
See, I am very clear that there is no softer pillow at night than a clear conscience. For instance, you should know that any decision you take today, if it were to be made public tomorrow, should not embarrass you. So that is really what is called transparency. That you take a decision today knowing that even if everyone came to know, there won't be any embarrassment. There won't be any negative feedback, or that it's personal interest, self-interest, that whatever decision you take, you're taking only in the interest of the company you are representing. That's why I keep saying this all the time, there is no softer pillow than a clear conscience. Although I must admit that although I have a clear conscience at this age, I can't sleep at night. I need to take a pill, because when you grow old, pill or pillow, but pillow is there, but pill has to be there, because somehow old people can't sleep. When they sleep, time is very limited. I used to sleep 8 hours, now I sleep 5 hours. So, because it just goes away and the medicine works, pill works for a very short time.
I think, sir, that is also because you probably, your brain is still working overtime like it has done last
No, so I do Sudoku at night and
Yes.
hard ones,
Yeah.
very hard ones, 5-star ones.
Yeah.
But even then the sleep doesn't come. That's the problem.
So maybe you should read insurance report on embedded value.
Then I will probably sleep.
So, as an industry stalwart and someone who has been the guiding force behind HDFC Group's values driven growth for over 45 years of building, mentoring and guiding, if you had to give one piece of advice to HDFC Life's leadership for the next 25 years, what would it be? Give us a mantra for success in the next 25 years and beyond.
I wish I was much younger, so I would see the result of the next 25 years. But the runway for growth is immense. You know, the life insurance penetration is very, very low in India. It is under 3% of GDP. It is much, much lower than our peers, our similar countries of our size.
Yeah.
The message I would give is keep deepening the market, have a diversified distribution mix, continue to leverage technology, continue to have good partnerships. So the future of India is very promising. Hence, I am convinced that the future of insurance is even more promising because of the penetration level. Stay the course with your founding values and principles. Listen to the customer more attentively and sell right policies. Don't compromise on governance.
Mr. Parekh, I worked closely with you for the past 17 years and learned so much that is subtle but deep. I would like to name a few. You're approachable to all and that helps you stay close to what's really happening. Else the ivory tower syndrome seeps into a CEO's life. Second, you continue to be pained by complaints from customers. At our monthly meetings, you invariably handed over a chit of paper with complaints that needed to be dealt with by me and my team. You never had to raise your voice to express displeasure, neither did you belittle any employee. You were always very, very well prepared until you served the last day as chairman and you got into details. I recall your calling me on a Sunday afternoon, patiently mentioning some of the mistakes or rewording in the chairman's speech in the annual report. So your journey has been a rich one with experiences of challenge, conviction and quiet triumph. Are there any anecdotes from those early years, perhaps a conversation that left a lasting impression on you, something that even today continues to guide your thinking or leadership philosophy?
Well, first of all, I must say, I must apologize to you because I was like an old gramophone record. Every time I met you, I used to say three things: mis-selling, customer complaints, attrition rates.
Fourth was cost also.
Cost, yeah.
Yes.
Cost was okay, but
Yeah.
at least these three, because our attrition rate was
Yeah.
extremely high. And you must have got sick and tired of my telling you the same thing every meeting, every time I met you. But I have asked you also a number of times, don't call me sir. I don't like people calling me sir. Call me by my first name. Don't call me Mr. Parekh. But you still not listen.
I also said you never raised your voice.
Yeah, so now I'm raising my voice to say that. But, you know, I have been very fortunate. I have been very lucky, I would say, to get the right leadership team in our companies. Some leaders act differently, behave differently, but the object of each leader has been to look after, grow profitably, cleanly their reputation because of the company. And I've been fortunate to get good leadership team. It's also luck to find good people, to grow an organization, to grow conglomerate. And remembering the first loan of 40,000 rupees which I dispersed in 1978 of 40,000 to a person who had a house in Thane. That was our first loan to today. It's been a very fruitful and satisfying journey for me.
It's 201 billion market cap.
Yeah, but it's satisfying more because I had the people to work with and they worked well. I could not have done it without anyone. It is all of
Yeah.
you who have built the company, all of you who have built the reputation of the group. One person can't be the leader, can't just build reputation. Because you have to build it in the field, you have to build it in your offices, you have to
Absolutely.
build it with your customers, with your stakeholders, with your public shareholders.
So every HDFC lifer is aware that if we can't enhance the brand, at least don't destroy the
Destroy,
brand,
yeah.
because this brand was not originated by us. So I think we are aware of that responsibility. Sir, I have a confession to make on behalf of all the HDFC lifers, and that is not dissimilar to my 26-year-old son, wherein you're cut from the same cloth, but quietly we do our own thing. Time and again we come back to our roots of the parentage, but we like to believe that our DNA is slightly different. And this is a moment to make that confession. Things like we try to innovate possibly faster. We want to disrupt ourselves before someone else disrupt. Not that HDFC did not do it, but we like to believe that we are that next new thing. So I thought this is a good moment on behalf of all my 38,000 employees that we do many things in Lodha Excelis now slightly differently, that we believe we are running faster. So I thought that was something that I should tell you.
No, good to hear that.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. And you have a large workforce, and to keep them motivated, to keep them giving results, to keep them working in the same mode of selling more, and it is not easy, because it does get monotonous, it does get boring, it does get too much of a routine, and people do get tired, but you have to continue motivating them, and which is a big issue for leaders everywhere.
Yeah, we have to keep innovating,
and
also our workforce is very young.
So they are more ambitious, they are young, so they are very
Yes.
ambitious.
Yes.
They won't stand still, they want to grow every year themselves.
Yeah, and as employers
And promote
now,
every second year, and you will
Absolutely,
have more
yes.
managing director material in the next 10 years.
yeah, you want corner office by
Corner
35.
office, you
and-
need corner office by. So it's a tough task ahead. But I'm delighted that you are still batting, and I hope you continue to bat many more years ahead.
It's very difficult to take out the HDFC out of me, sir.
We need half a century from you, Vibha. You've done 17 only.
17 years in this
Company.
HDFC Life. And for the common man especially, I remember during our IPO process, you had called me once, it was a Saturday, and you were just expressing yourself to say that, I want to leave money on the table. Retail shareholders are also our customers in the entire HDFC group, and they have patiently waited, they need to make money.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I think that will be very useful for our employees, current and the future, to understand the origin of HDFC Life, where it came from, which was from HDFC and the group at large. The mistakes that we were allowed to make, we learned from those mistakes, and today we are a formidable organization, well poised to take opportunities like you mentioned for the next 25 years.
I want to congratulate you and the entire HDFC Life Insurance team for successfully completing 25 years. During these 25 years, we've always been amongst the top 2 or 3 if you include LIC. And we should continue to aspire to be in the top 3, not try and become 4th. We can do that if there's full cooperation, if there's good leadership, business is there, how you do your business. And anyway, you have advertising slogan, Sar Utha Ke Jiyo, which fits in with our DNA, which fits in with our governance and transparency standard. So keep it up, and good luck for the next 25 years.
Thank you very much, Mr. Parekh, for agreeing to do this fireside chat.